because you always think you have to step out, but it's actually stepping in, and you're opening your doors for more people to know your truth. And I think that was very interesting. So that's for me, vulnerability, because as much as I would like to think that I have improved, because I never saw vulnerability as strength. I always saw it as a weakness. Crazy, right? But now it's okay, you know. I think it's very powerful to be able to open yourself out and let people in. Yeah, so that's my word for the day, vulnerability. And I also think, you know, being here, it in the beginning was a lot of practice of being vulnerable, you know, to be able to speak my truth or speak my heart, and you know, agreements. It's like you know, like, yeah. So I like the fact that I'm practicing with the practice. So in practice. Yeah. It's safe to be vulnerable. Let's put it like that. It's safe to be vulnerable. And what's your word for the day, Jesse? Is anyone there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. I thought I was hopefully not talking to myself. But that's also okay, because I'm used to talking to myself. So that is, I have a lot of self-talk through the day. Trust me. But
I talked with my mom yesterday. It's kind of like me and her started our journey together, and it was like our egos went at each other at first, and so we were just celebrating. Like she was celebrating how much she's seen the ego around, and she was just, and it was such a fun conversation to notice, like that's where it really started for me, around the vulnerability. And it was just had a really good conversation, and we always do. And it's like sharing the journey with people, like the differences from where we were to where we are, and it's like how together our experiences reshape us. So there's my word, reshaping our lives, reshaping our relationships, reshaping our identities, reshaping our authenticity. So just shaping, and we can reshape.
That's cool.
So that's my word for this right now. Thanks.
Would you like to invite Jesse?
What's that, Will?
Oh, I said, who would you like to invite next?
Whoever would want to come in. Sounds like you're ready.
Yeah, that was nice. Nikki, vulnerability. Jesse, reshaping. Mine today is service. I realized that, you know, getting back to service, being in service of others, to others, for others, and even to myself and the world, and approaching life from that viewpoint. is I want to remind myself that is how I choose to live, because that's where fulfillment comes from, and that's part of my purpose being here, is to serve. So yeah, that's my word for today, is just service and to serve, and to be conscious of that throughout my day. I have a job today that I'm going to do, and kind of getting back to work here in my business. And yeah, that's an important mindset to be in when you're running your business, is to be thinking of service to others, and how can I better serve people and make this experience good for them, and deliver the service that I'm promising to in the best way possible. Yeah, that's my word for today. So with Pascal, I invite you, Pascal, if you're ready to share.
Yeah, for sure. What kind of business do you have, or what kind of business are you running?
Oh yeah, it's a service business. It is just a little small business where I clean windows, siding, gutters, do pressure washing and roof cleaning, basically beautifying people's homes.
This is so interesting because I ran that kind of business for 3 years.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Did you work for someone?
No, like it was. I was one of the business partner.
Oh.
Like it was just my friend and I. It didn't end up in a good term at the end, but
Oh, bummer.
yeah, it was a really interesting business because it's you don't need much,
Yeah,
and it's
low overhead, eh?
Yeah, it's a low overhead. Is a fairly profitable business, and it's like people always need your service.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it was.
Yeah,
it
2020
was really good
was like.
You go ahead.
Oh yeah, 2020 was like our biggest year, like up to that point, and that is the one nice thing about it. Yes, it is physical work and that sort of thing, but when things slow down, actually you do quite well. Like if there's a recession, you still have more than enough to take care of you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and you decide like how much you want to work, right? Because like you can just knock more doors, right? Right, like, or advertised and all that. So yeah, no, it's pretty good. I didn't enjoy it that much, the type of work, but it's definitely a good business, though. Definitely.
That's quite physical.
It is quite physical. I don't know. It's just not. It just wasn't my thing, right? But but I was running it, right? Like, I think the part I didn't like it as much is like going around doing estimates and stuff. So.
Oh really?
But yeah, because that was my main task, and then like the advertisement. I like better running, like going with the guys. Like those were good days, right? Like working with them. I like that, But yeah,
that is the more enjoyable aspect of it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, like talking to people, but when you're going an estimate, like you see barely anybody, right? It's just like you're just by yourself. And, I don't know.
It sounds like you're a people person, Pascal.
Maybe.
Yeah, you like interacting with people.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm kind of amused by it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Pascal.
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
You were amused, so I want to be amused too.
I've been creating media for over 40 years, right? And that's mostly, well, it wasn't mostly indoor work, but anyways, it's kind of like that. But before I got into that, I actually did residential roofing for, in the late 70s, kind of interspersed with real estate investment and that kind of stuff. But what's interesting is during my media career, I kept going back to outdoor work. Like I did a lot of things like I did lawn care and snow removal and stuff like that, because I really, really liked being outside.
Yeah.
And one summer I ran around with a video camera on oil rigs and stuff like that, and just shot all kinds of footage. And it's kind of interesting that I kept going back to outdoor work and physical stuff as much as I could. Like it seemed like I kept being drawn to be out in the weather for some reason.
Yeah.
In fact, I even did a thing in November in Northwest Territories one year. So, so it was really cold. Yeah.
In November. Oh boy.
Yeah, exactly. It was biting. If we wanted to have a shower, we were in a double wide manufactured home. And if we wanted to have a shower, we used to have to plug a kettle in and then crawl underneath the building and heat up the pipes in order to have a shower.
Wow.
So it was kind of amazing. But anyway, it's kind of amazing to me that people that who are kind of spiritually oriented, like all of us are, and service oriented, those kind of things, why we like to kind of work in packs like that, and also also be in the weather for some reason or other. I found that common among a lot of people that I talk to, and it kind of amuses me, actually.
Yeah, instead than being in cubicle. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the cubicle thing never appealed to me at all.
Yeah, same. So what was your word, Pascal?
So my word today is letting go. So yeah, I've been studying like raising your vibration, all that stuff, but it was more, now I got a kind of a different view of it. It was more like letting go these lower vibration emotion instead than rising from them. So really, like really like think of like the emotion like clouds, right? So, if it's not an emotion that I really want to resonate with, just let it by, and then something else will rise up, right? So
sounds like someone taking rocks out of their backpack.
Yeah. So, and it seems like the lower are higher and the higher gets even higher.
Exactly.
Right. So,
it's like,
and it doesn't mean like I don't go down these shame and all that, but I let go these feelings very quickly, because I'm like, this is not me. It is not me.
Right? Wow.
Awesome, man.
So it's the awareness, right? Like, yeah.
This is not me.
This is not me.
Wow. What a realization.
This is not my true nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, it is huge.
Just being able to have that awareness even and to recognize that in the moment is so powerful.
Yeah, and I was sharing yesterday that, it was a guy, like he's going through a divorce and stuff, and then like he was telling stories and I was telling like what really helped me in my life is like knowing that it's not about me. So when someone's trying to attack me, it's not about me. I know I got my flaws out of it, but like it's not, it's based on their pattern that triggers them, and it reflect on me, but it's not about me. So, and I think that, it was kind of planting a seeds in his brain, and, it seems like it triggers something for him. So, you just keep blaming himself because like his wife says this and that and and I'm like, it's not about you, So. So Craig, I'd like to invite you and share your wisdom this morning.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm going to bring in the same word that I brought yesterday. Mystery. And to me, that means rediscovery of things that have been hidden for whatever reason. There's something very powerful in the how and when and why information and meanings get revealed. So there's a bit of a, from my perspective, there's a bit of a readiness component to that. My readiness, my openness, my ability to receive. My ability to be aware, my desire to be aware. Oh, that's a big one for me. Oh, wow. For many years, I insisted on not being aware. And now I see that around me in many, many places. Not wanting to know the truth. Wow.
It's almost like a pandemic of that in society. Eh?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not even denial, because denial is denying something that you become aware of. But this is just an out and out. I refuse to see the truth. I do not want to. So that's the lifetime miracle for me, is that something miraculous happened to change that for me. Something turned, something shifted, where I actually did want, where I was maybe curious, maybe even just curious to know the truth.
Was your word discovery, Craig?
No, it was mystery.
Mystery. Thank you.
And rediscovery would be the secondary word.
Reshaping.
Yeah.
That was my word today, Craig. So that's why I was
Oh, wow.
amplifying it into it. And I celebrate here, like what I put attention on and awareness into was Craig testing out his speaking out loud to see if that is what his truth is. That's what we do when we speak out there. We just put it out and then we align it. It's like, oh, is that lined up? Is that, and we need room to reshape our words.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
That's the importance of space and not judging.
Mm-hmm.
I celebrate how far you guys have come. In your awareness, being aware, being authentic, responsible, and it's happy.
Yeah. I celebrate a group, a team, a community to be authentic in, and the space that allows that. To me, that's extreme value.
Yeah, you don't get this just anywhere.
Yeah, you don't get that anywhere. You need to build it.
Mm-hmm.
So I celebrate that I stopped choosing distraction over truth. Because my wife, I didn't have the chance to watch the Super Bowl, but I told my wife, I said, it's just another distraction for me to see the truth. And she got mad. She was like, and I'm like, well, anyway, like I don't have time to watch it anyway, so you can watch if you like.
It's all distractions.
It is all.
I heard that analogy. You probably heard this one before, where I don't know if it was like a Zen master and a student or whatever, but he wanted to learn from the master. And so the master said, here's a shovel. I want you to dig a trench right along here. So he digs a trench. It's like 2 feet deep. and it's like 6 feet long, and he just keeps going until the mast, and he's like, he's getting tired, and the master said, okay, good, that's good. After hours of digging, okay, now stop, and then now I want you to refill it. And so he refills it, and it's tiring and it's exhausting and it's a hard work. And then he finishes that, and then the master's like, okay, good, now I want you to dig another trench over here. So he does that a few times, and then finally he's like, I don't get it, what's this all about, kind of thing, right? Like, what's the lesson? And he was like, well, this is life. You're going to do a lot of things that are kind of pointless. And but like, where's the meaning? It's the inner it's who you are on the inside, eh? It's your inner awareness. I don't know, that's just kind of what I took from that. So there's so much going on, and most of it probably doesn't really matter much. There's just a few things that really do matter. And I guess that's where we can focus if we choose to.
Pascal. I got a question for you. If you're able, capable, willing, you all are able. And either way, I'll use it as a point, as a lesson.
Sorry, Jesse, I was on the phone with the boss. So what were you saying?
All good, Pascal. All good. Good. Are you good here, or you want to finish with him?
Finish. Oh, yeah. Well, I really love that analogy, right? Yeah, I picture like you will like doing trenches. It was pretty comical, And I was like, when are you gonna stop?
Yeah, it's so much work, eh?
Yeah. But if it has a meaning, if it's like it's for gold, like I don't know, to bring water to community or something, then it's got a meaning. But yeah, like you said, like there's a lot of stuff that we do that it's really meaningless.
So Pascal, you didn't choose the game. So what did you choose?
Didn't choose the game, like being distracted, you mean?
You didn't choose the game, so you chose something else. Just in a reflection, nothing like you, True?
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. It's true.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I decide not to go with the masses.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And
so what did you choose instead?
so yesterday I choose connection instead of distraction.
There we go. Man, was that clear? Connection with who?
I had dinner with a friend of mine, and then like he runs like an Airbnb business, and then like there's two guys that they're long timer, I guess, like so they've been renting for over 2 months now. So he invite them for dinner. So
Oh, wow.
yeah. So we really connected.
Oh man, thank you. Yeah, I wanted to just point out the choice. It was like choice of the game, and aware to do something else, man. Not didn't matter what. The message I had was it wasn't about the game. It was the wife, like connecting with the wife, being with the wife. So it
No,
just like that.
actually, she decided to stay
Yeah.
home. So
Yeah, good. Well, you know, I was for whatever reason, it was just picking me there to ask the question. I don't. So
yeah, no, it's good.
cheers, man.
Love that.
It's cool too to have that awareness of choice rather than just choose choice by default, because you know so many people in life, myself included, have just been at effect rather than at cause. You know, like just allowing life to make choices for us rather than choosing our own destiny. And you know, like, oh, it's a Super Bowl weekend. Oh, I got to watch the Super Bowl. I got to have people over and do this. And, you know, obviously nothing against anyone who wants to do that. That's their choice. But, you know, if that's not our choice and we're just doing it because everyone else is doing it, then that could be a choice by default. And that's just one example, right? Like that could be anything in life.
But the question was about the second step. Okay, so I choose not. That's kind of an easier choice, but so what do I choose instead?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a key one for me. When I was experiencing extreme distress and breakdown, I didn't realize that there was a second choice.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize that it was available. And that's when Chris and Magnetic Mind showed up.
Mm-hmm. And then you started to understand true choices better.
No, I started to understand that I actually had a choice.
Mm.
other than not this.
Mm.
Because I kept choosing the not this day after day, hour after hour. But I didn't realize that I had an other choice about that was available to me, like a choice of what was not that.
Oh, yes, Craig. Oh, Craig, I'm so happy you mentioned that. Because that's what I also felt, you know, just to be able to choose. As simple as it sounds. Mm-hmm. That old program, you know, it's just whatever program, I don't know. It's coming from this new understanding. You have a choice and you can choose. And just having to choose, because I had, you know, it's so good that you mentioned that, because it speaks so much volumes to me right now, because this is where I feel that it's so meaningful to choose now, just because I can. Just because I can, you know? But just to be able to choose, you know? Because a lot of society, we don't get to choose. We don't get to choose. We get to told how to be for them, for their interests, but not for our interests. And it's a control again. It's another control, you know? So yeah, I love that. Thank you for mentioning that, because
I
I can resonate. Yeah,
was
me too,
unaware.
hey?
When I was in the
Oh my
middle of that, I
God.
was unaware that I could choose my way out of
Oh
it.
my God. That's it.
And how many people
Oh.
walking the planet right now are unaware that they can choose their way out of it?
And yeah, and to make that choice, yeah, right. That
Yeah.
even if they are going through a very dark with depressing or anxiety or whatever, they can actually choose. Like I had a client. I'm just giving a quick example. We were talking. She went through a lot of trauma. I deal with a lot of trauma, a lot of domestic abuse, and all that for certain women that I'm encircled with. And the one had started to get a panic attack. So she started to get a panic attack, right? And I paused and I said, all right, what are you going to choose now? You're going to choose the panic attack, or we're just going to why are we going through this panic attack? So let's just make, and just giving her that choice. And she was going literally through a panic attack, right? She couldn't started really having her breath take. And when I gave her that choice, we can go through the panic attack, but then also we can also choose why we're going through the panic attack, and let's breathe through that, and let it just. And she loved, and she you could actually see the shift happen. She like, oh, I can, yeah, and immediately she started to breathe, and immediately it was so beautiful to witness that it just calmed down. And she decided that she can make that choice now. That's how powerful choice is. That's how powerful the choice is. And for me, that was really, wow. That's why when you say that, it just registers so purely, like so good.
And what is choice, eh?
Pardon me? No, I think choice is powerful.
Oh, totally.
It's so powerful.
And it's a structure.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. No.
No,
Well,
what I was trying to say, is that I kept choosing not this. I don't want to experience this. When I was in the middle of distress, I kept choosing, I kept saying, I don't want this. I don't want to experience this. But I didn't know.
Which is a structure. It is a structure. So yes, Will, it is a structure. And that was either flowing or stuck.
Okay. And I was unaware that another choice could change it. I didn't know what I could do to change what I was experiencing. So the not choice was not enough.
Nor did you see you could choose something else,
Well,
which
exactly.
is what a victim is always helpless. Always trying to solve a problem.
that's why
But
when
I wasn't trying to solve a problem. I was just trying to escape it.
That
yeah.
too.
By choosing to escape it.
And when you choose not this, what are you choosing, eh?
Well, the focus is on the this. No matter what it happens to be.
That's right. We don't think of that in the moment, eh?
No. So the structure is all about where the focus is.
Bingo.
You know, focusing on what I don't want just created more of what I didn't want.
So silly.
Powerful creator doing that.
Powerful creators.
So
Yes,
powerful,
of
kept
course.
me in it for years. So powerful, damn it.
And it takes years sometimes to wake up to that, eh?
Sometimes.
Decades. Probably most times, most people aren't. Yeah, most people don't just carry on from babyhood into adult life with that awareness.
Well, and realizing that all that needed to change was the focus.
Mm. And also knowing when you know better, you can do better. I mean,
Well, yeah, of course.
you can tell somebody, you know, whatever, but if you don't know, you don't know. So you can call call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. But when you do know better, then you do better. We're all
Hopefully.
learning. It's a learning loop. But it's a learning loop, you know. If you wake up now, you're going to wake up later. It's the same as later on comes. Later on comes. If you don't know now, it's going to come later. So,
Yeah.
so that's why. I mean, it's just.
But here's the big realization for me is that the problem that I thought was the problem was not the problem. The thing that I was focusing on actually created the problem or made it a problem.
That's
But
an
it really
awesome
wasn't.
realization.
Yeah, it really wasn't. In fact, it had nothing to do. The problem had nothing to do with what I was focusing on.
We all have our unique one. That's the thing. We all have our, and it's ridiculous when you see it, when you notice it. It's like, oh my God, that is not true. Yet we run our life that it is. So powerful.
So you're
Once you
basically
see
creating the problem.
it, you are, yes, a powerful creator. When you are a powerful creator, you're creating it. And all someone has to do is say, oh, I could be a powerful creator. That's all they have to do. Do it once and you'll want to do it again.
Yeah, but the point I was making too, though, is that I was already being a powerful creator and created this problem that was way, way bigger than, well, that didn't even really exist.
I know, so silly. So silly.
Well, totally.
Yeah. You know, my more money was that way. It's like when I have more money, then I'll be, I don't know. I didn't have something. It was like I didn't know, but every time I got there, it was empty.
Right.
I didn't know it, right? It was frustrating and anger all the way, but it was like, no, what do you really want? I'm happy. Oh, wait, I could be happy.
Right.
Ooh.
Whether I had the money or not.
Yeah.
So the money had nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it. And I sat there and I asked the question, it's like, well, could I be happy and not hit my money? And it was like, no, first of all, but then it was like, yeah, you could. Oh, yeah, I'm kind of doing it right now.
Oh, I didn't know I had that choice.
Being authentic, reshaping, reforming, rediscovering. Mysteries as powerful creators together, gathering breakthroughs so that we can scatter. equally genius, greatness, and gifts. Yes, what's next? I don't know, but focus on, observe, and relax. Plus, truth will equal win. Win what? Whatever you want. You are a powerful creator. Ooh, just feel the resistance to that. That's your wobble and step out of it.
Here's the big learning for me over the last few months is I'm discovering that I can be happy. I can be happy without a wife. I can be happy without a home. I can be happy without even the things and the memories that I held dear. I can be happy without support from the people that I love, and etc., etc., etc. It just goes on and on and on.
Wow. That is powerful.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
That is so powerful.
I mean, welcome to the truth of my life, right?
Yeah.
And I never would have discovered that had I not lost all of that.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it is good.
And that's awesome, Greg. Such awesome realizations.
That is really awesome. That is like, yeah, very, very
Well, there's
powerful.
only a
that-
few pebbles left in the backpack. Let's put it that way.
Oh,
Yeah, you're not
Always.
relying on anybody to be happy.
that's it.
Right. There's nobody happy but me.
Yeah,
And that's
you
all
are
that
your own
matters.
source.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're your best friend. You're the lover of your soul. You're your teacher. You're your coach. You're a parent. You know?
Yeah, and a big N word is gone.
What's the big N word? What's that?
Need.
Need. Yeah.
Yeah, I discovered that I'm not needy anymore.
Mm.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I didn't need that. Oh, apparently I didn't need that. I didn't need that. I
No,
didn't
you
need
didn't.
that.
Mm-mm.
You know, in fact, it wasn't about need at all.
What was it about?
It was about self-sufficiency and oneness with all that is.
Mm. I don't know why coming up for me, but it's just something that I feel that also about respect, that you don't need that respect, but you respect yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the real honest love and respect for yourself. You can give that to you now. And that's where I feel the vibration and the frequency of what your energy is. This is why it's just going to expand now, because that is contagious. Then people will just automatically, it's automatic, they will just draw to you.
Yeah. See, in the middle
You
of
won't
that,
need, you won't need to look.
like,
You won't need to look any, you know.
yeah.
Or
In
get
the middle of that, I
approval.
felt like
It will just happen.
my dignity was stolen. I felt like my dignity
Yeah, of
was stolen.
course.
But what's interesting is I found my own dignity inside my own heart.
Oh, absolutely.
And no one can affect that.
True.
It's just
That's it. No one can take it away either.
It's that simple.
No one can
Yeah.
take it away either.
Yep. So I tried to earn dignity by the things that I did for people and by the sacrifices that I made for them and all of that shit. And when
Yes.
it came right down to it, it didn't really matter to anybody.
Mm.
And it nearly destroyed me,
Mm. Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
That whole structure brought me to my knees.
Oh yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
which would have proven you right.
Mm.
Mm.
You would have lived it through, you know, only to a point. And then a new structure, a choice, a could. See, creators see coulds. They create them. They're just choices, they're options. And we find the best one that we can and play it. And we help others. We always serve others with that. Just honor all the words that are there today. I'd like us for all to say the word that we start this next hour with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really shallow what we've been talking about. You know, I'd like to take it a little deeper.
Good. I think we could. I think we could do that.
But what I would
Will's gonna-
say, I don't know if it will get deeper or not, but yeah, when you said like kind of the universe will show you how right you are, you know. So if say your internal state is blaming, then it will just show you how can you blame yourself, how can you blame others, until you can let go blaming or shaming, and then you rise your vibration and then you experience something else, and then they'll show you that you're right again. If it's joy, if it's love, then if you're, you know, like I like the quote by Dick Nicky told, like, you're attracting not what you want, but what you are. And that's huge. So it's really like changing your state of being. So that's my shallow piece.
And it's also Craig's true nature. This is his true identity. This is his true nature. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's to celebrate that, you know? Because that other part is dead. It's dead. It's not alive anymore. It's dead.
Well, it was dead all along, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. So I really celebrate that.
I thought the word that you're going to use when you said the big N was no. For me, that's what came up.
Mine too.
And that's what I'm practicing now. Like if someone says, you want to do this? If I say no, then I've got something else in return. And I'm just not, it won't just stay at no. So I choose something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give another option. So
Choose your yes.
Choose your yes.
And
yeah.
And when we
Yeah.
say no to something, we can say yes to something else.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that kind of brings me to the service thing, because it's always been important to me to serve others for some reason or other. I don't really know exactly where that comes from, but I've always kind of felt that tug. What's interesting though is I didn't realize that I could not serve others until I was serving myself from my own true nature. And then the service to others actually radiates from that.
Mhm.
It's automatic.
Mhm. Flows. See, there's
All
no
you guys have-
resistance. It
Yeah,
flows.
all you guys, yeah, exactly. All you guys have witnessed that
Mm.
with respect to me. You know, the words or the encouragement or the insight or whatever that's needed by a group just comes out of my mouth. I mean, and that's just a big gift. And your gift to me is receiving what comes through.
Mm. Mhm. Letting go is not easy. And I honor, it's like the pattern and the passion, right, get entangled together. So the service to help others. So the desire and the sabotaging pattern were oscillating off of each other, the negative and
Yeah.
positive energy. So that's how it oscillates. And so then when we see, then it's like when we can let that pattern go, then we can take that service pattern and attach it to something else, which could be a new choice, a new focus, right? Something else than that. And you don't want to go back. You don't want to choose something that will have you avoiding it again, because that will just fill in the pattern. But usually when you're aware of it at this point, you're like, oh, I'll choose that. And it aligns with serving the true nature and purpose.
Yeah. Which for me is practicing flow.
Mm-hmm.
With people who are swimming in the same direction in the same river.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Guided. Sounds
It's
easy.
that simple.
It's easy. Exactly.
Well, it is
And
easy.
yeah.
It is easy.
You know, and you're trying to like create banks as you go along. Guiding banks, right? And learning the lessons as you let go. And we do that together when we gather. It's pretty deep first 8 minutes on that.
Yeah,
6.
that was awesome.
Mm.
That's pretty amazing realizations or awareness there, Craig. I was having a comfort break, so I couldn't pipe in, but Yeah. Oh man, that was so good. Like I really want to re-listen to that. Like all those
Yeah, the need one was huge for
realized.
me. Yeah.
The need to know.
No, not the need to know. The thing about realizing that that the things that I lost, I never needed.
Yeah. So it's almost like in a way you just kind of release them, maybe unconsciously. They didn't need to be there in the first place.
Right. For the first time in my life, I'm creating from my 3Gs, or from what's innate. You know, I don't need props. I don't need what I thought I needed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need what I thought I wanted either.
I'm starting to come to that realization myself too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like,
Yeah.
you know, the last 10 years I'd been visualizing and creating what I've created now. And now that I'm here, I realize I don't even know if I want this now. Like it's a lot to manage, a lot of responsibility. And
Well, that's the thing.
Pressure there. And
you want to spend your life managing, or you want to spend your life creating?
yeah, exactly.
You know?
And it's like now that I realized, you know, the more we realize how powerful creators that we actually are, you do come to that where you do want to, I just want to go create something, you know, like that's all I want to do now. I just want to create. Kind of, and you realize kind of the shackles that you almost created for yourself because of the lifestyle and the stuff and this and that.
Here's one for you. The most difficult things for me to let go of are mastery. Okay, I've lived with PTSD my whole life. Got to the point where I mastered that. I mastered self-regulation. I could kind of control my physiological reaction to triggers and that kind of stuff. And I got very, very, very good at it. But I finally came to a point in my life where it got so bad that I could not self-regulate anymore. Like I could do it until I couldn't do it anymore. And I've mastered a lot of things in my life that are very similar to that. And it takes a hell of a lot of energy to master that whole self-conscious construct. And what I realized is that it's absolutely futile to be managing that. It's a total waste of energy, time, and resources.
Like
and creators don't do that. Creators don't manage anything.
Wow. Oh, I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
They don't manage anything, they create.
Creator just keeps creating. Yeah, it just keeps creating. So So you run into a no, or you run into a roadblock, or whatever it is, you run into some resistance, you just create something else.
Man.
You don't try to manage the
Craig,
resistance.
You know what you made me realize, Craig?
Yeah.
With that one statement, creators don't manage anything, create.
Yeah.
It takes me back to 2009 when I first discovered the Sedona method by Hale Dwoskin.
Uh-huh.
And you know, that work is based off of Lester Levinson, all of his work in releasing and letting go of things, like letting go of the emotional charge around things.
Yep.
And so, like, that's really the core basis of the whole Sedona method thing, which is also in harmony with what we learn here. Creators don't manage anything. So you're actually releasing all control.
Yep.
You're releasing want, you're releasing desire, you're releasing control, you're releasing the need to know. You're just dropping all of it and just getting into pure creation, the pure creator that you are, that we all are. Like, that's, man, thank you.
Sheer power without force.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sheer power without force. Man, you got some gold nuggets this morning, man.
Yeah. Well, I borrowed that from David Hawkins.
That's right. Yeah. Don't have to force anything.
Yeah. I spent a lot of my life forcing myself. And mastery for me was a matter of forcing myself to perform in certain ways, to be in certain ways. You know, and that's the structure, at least it was for me.
And it's suffering.
You know, your parents call that discipline, right?
Yeah.
Or self-discipline. You know, and it's the kind of stuff that Tony Robbins teaches, right?
Yeah.
Which just makes things worse.
Like effort, struggle, work at it.
Yeah. Focus on it. I buffet my body and make it my slave, as Paul says in one of the letters.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Romans.
Yep. Lead it about as a slave. Yep. It's like, I am the master, not the body.
Yeah.
The awareness. When I am the awareness, then I am the master. Otherwise, the body mind can take me in places that, into severe suffering.
Yeah. And that's all created by your self-consciousness. So the thing is, we say we want to get rid of our self-consciousness, but that's not really the issue. Our self-consciousness has overtaken our inner authority, and we've allowed our self-consciousness to be the primary authority in our life.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's not. Our primary authority is in our heart.
So let's honor how that happens. We are children that are just learning how to talk. And we're testing our theory, right? To say out loud, is that truth to us? And we're just practicing. And the structures around us, our families, people say, you can't say that. You can't do that. So we take our dialogue internal.
Right.
And that's where the self-development, self-ego, that's the development feeding the ego of it. And that's where the authority is handed over to say, yes, you know better. So you get in a damaging situation, a painful situation, and the thought goes, you see how I should be in charge here. Self-conscious says that to the heart. That's where the heart gets broken. Yeah. and then covered up, and then you keep building the walls, you keep building, defending the walls.
Wow.
So nice, yeah. With the
Say,
sun.
you
Huh?
can-
No,
so
I'm
far.
just saying the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hot day.
Or armor up, as Brene Brown calls it.
Mm. It's almost like
Yeah.
you build a fortress around your heart, eh?
Totally.
And then you,
Yep.
you forget who you are. We forget who we
Huh?
are.
That's the big mystery about the things that are hidden.
Guys mentioned the zoo.
I'm gonna mute you, Nikki.
Well,
Thanks, Nikki. I just muted you.
Yeah, they're all hidden. They're all hidden inside your heart. All that stuff is. Your true nature is, your 3Gs are hidden in there.
And Nikki's word for the day, vulnerability.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how that used to
Exactly.
be like in the past, we may have believed that was a bad thing, not a good thing.
Yes.
Yep.
Especially men. Yeah, men too.
Yeah, the old
Yeah,
structure is
big time.
about force and authority and all that stuff.
Winning.
Ego.
Yeah, which runs counter. That runs counter to
Vulnerability.
what your heart wants. Totally.
Service, right? Total against service when you're fighting to be the best.
Mm. Can I share something here with you guys? Because
No.
you guys are heart-centered men. You guys are heart-centered men, and so you're gonna get this. So you're probably aware, I've been like filming just videos, talking from the heart, doing my best to speak from my heart and be vulnerable on video.
Yeah.
And uploading them to YouTube to that channel. And so I get invalidation from someone close to me, and then my inner dialogue starts up like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And then my own self-criticism starts up on the inside, and it's like, no, this is stupid. No one's watching this. This doesn't have value. You should take this down. And that's if my true awareness was to buy into that and listen to that garbage, I would just delete it all, take it down, and stop sharing from my heart.
Yeah, you bet.
But my true awareness is love, and it's coming from a place of love. And just because other people are scared to be vulnerable and or even kind or come from their heart doesn't mean that I need to join them. So
Yeah.
I guess there's my answer. I don't need to take it down. It's a choice, and I'm a creator, and I can continue to be that heart-centered creator and create from that space. Just leave the ego at the door, kind of thing.
I vote that you were in your power. That was my vote.
Yeah. Oh wow, thank you, Jesse.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, because like when it's someone close to you that you love that is cutting you down, kind of cutting you at the knees, so to speak, it can be hard not to take that personally when it's their stuff and it's their perspective and it's where they're coming from and it's their woundedness, but they're directing it in a way at you that it's like, no, you're the problem, like as in I'm the problem, and it's all me and it's all my fault, and that's how it comes across. And then
so lesson here is the question, whose resistance is it?
The other person.
And now it's like, well, now with your awareness, you can see, it's like now you can separate the two for yourself, and you can now see this. That is huge, man.
Thanks for letting me share that. Like, just to even, I know this is being recorded and everything, but just to
Yeah,
have
nobody
a-
watches this either, so it's all right.
But just, just to have a safe space among guy friends too, right? Like to be able to share something like that from the heart is not easy in our culture. So I appreciate you.
And my question, like, would be, if I create something like this, I might do it for myself, or I might do it for others to get validated.
Yeah, wow, that's a very valid question there, Pascal. Yeah, thank you. Am I?
So if you're doing for
I'll write that
yourself,
down.
who cares what people think?
Yeah, exactly. And
It's
that's
not
how
about you. It's not about you when they're
Mhm.
sending comments. It's not about you. If they're saying good things or bad things, it's not about you.
Actually,
Yeah, they're
um,
speaking from their woundedness, right?
yeah, and like no one has made a comment. No one's been derogatory on that channel. This was my own woundedness on my inner voice, like my inner wounds that were vocalizing on the inside of me. Their insecurities and fears, and oh, I should just take this down. And so, like, that wasn't even coming from anyone. That was me. And so that's kind of the realization through it all. Am I doing it for myself or for others? Huh. Good question, eh? I'm trying to find my voice. That's kind of, or I'm finding my voice to be able to speak this vulnerability from the heart without fear of judgment and just speak my truth.
You gotta dig the
Do-
ditch.
Yeah, I know I'm digging the ditch.
Yeah,
It's a process.
Giggles.
It's always a good awareness to have too. Is in this moment, is it coming from my woundedness or is it coming from my heart? Where are those words coming from? I have to practice a lot.
Mhm. Me too. It's a skill. It is a skill.
Yes, it is.
Awareness, being in your charged choice, or it is a skill,
Mhm.
and it's fun.
Especially when this is so contrary to what the societal structures we've grown up in, eh?
Totally.
And we can still work inside of them as a creator. You just don't want to because they're so limited. It gets frustrating as a creator. It gets frustrating. Yeah, it's like you're frustrated because they can't see a bigger version.
Yeah. Like the
Yeah,
bigger picture.
they're collapsed.
It's sad is another way to say it. That it's like you're holding yourself victim.
Mhm.
And so, I poke fun at it a lot and people take it really serious. I call it choice. I'm going to find the choice that's going to be that's going to apply the most pressure.
Yeah.
If that's all you can respond to is pressure, I'm going to give you pressure. It's your pattern. Just because I can see your pattern, don't blame me. You're just predictable.
It reminds me of that line from Back to the Future 2, I think it was. We could do this the easy way or the hard way. The hard way. That's life, eh?
Oh, I would love to have that, but I'm gonna keep digging my ditch. Lessons, life is such a silly thing.
Take everything so doggone seriously, eh? I'm digging my ditch. Digging.
Yeah.
It's serious work, man.
That guy Jesse, he's an a-hole.
If only people could realize that you're just being a mirror.
He told me the truth, damn it.
Yeah. How dare you?
How dare him?
I see something so much bigger. Can we just go there, please?
No, I'm digging my ditch.
Well, and do you see what safety fools us with? You know, the creator's always going to create with safety in mind. Creator's always going to create it so it's just better than what it is now, just differently. It's a different flavor. It's a different perspective. It's a different view. And sometimes we have to let go of old views when they conflict, collide. Because that's where you start to fight for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's like if you use the football analogy, those I don't know what they're called, but those padded, weighted things on the field that they practice with, blockers and all that, and they ram up against them, and the thing barely moves because it's so heavy.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah, one guy doing that, right? Imagine one guy doing that.
Ow.
Yeah, it doesn't move. Trust me. Well, I couldn't hit it hard enough to make it move.
Yeah.
I was just a pretty quarterback, though. I was just a pretty quarterback.
Were you a quarterback, Jesse?
Yeah.
Hey, good for you. Awesome.
And then
That
receiver.
doesn't surprise me all that much, actually.
Yeah. And point guard. I mean, yeah.
Good old days, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. Still living them, I guess.
Yeah.
Man.
You know what a great morning.
Yeah.
What do we
Yeah,
wrap
this
our
has been
lessons
really
up
good.
to today? Yesterday was a great here, I want to celebrate this. 99 days. 99 days.
Oh,
today.
really?
Is it
Yeah.
today? 99?
Yeah.
Awesome.
99's today, yeah. That means tomorrow's 100. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I just keep thinking of the Fibonacci, right? As I think of the numbers, the Fibonacci is always in there.
You know,
It's
I
the
don't know.
vortex.
Yeah, I don't know why this came to me, but sustainability, the only guarantee of sustainability is to stay in a procreative state.
Procreative?
Yep, procreative.
Just kind of keep creating same thing kind of thing?
Yeah, partly that. But pro actually means before. So before creation.
I was saying like proactive. It was like, ooh, a way to procreate being. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that term proactive too, but something didn't quite work for me. So
Yeah.
anyways, yeah. So procreative came to me yesterday, but the tie to sustainability is a new thing that I just got just now.
Mhm.
And what's kind of interesting is I'm starting a new practice. I'm calling it procreative intuition.
Mhm.
And what does that look like?
Well, it reflects the truth of my life experience, actually. In the last 5 years, I've seen numerous examples of things that have come to fruition, that have come to completion, things that I had preconceived many decades ago. Like this Zoom app. The Zoom app is one of them. We actually discussed this yesterday. Jesse and Nikki and I discussed this yesterday. It's about my primary role is in creation is as an initiator. And what we discovered yesterday is we were talking about completion. And in a lot of cases in my life, I've started something and brought it into the 3D, but never actually completed it. And this Zoom app is a good example of that.
Yeah, because you put it into the thought field.
Yeah, I brought it into
or
the
super
3D field.
conscious.
Yeah, I brought it into the 3D field.
Other minds will pick up on it and create it if you don't.
Yep.
That's how it works, huh?
That's how it works. Yeah.
That's
exactly.
my urgency. Damn it.
You know that though, right? Like you knew that.
No, not to that level that I couldn't see it that way. I saw it another way, but that was fuller.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. I just
back
schooled
then-
you.
You did.
well, exactly.
See, exactly.
Back then I wanted to be the one that did it, right? But it doesn't matter, because the whole thing wasn't necessarily mine.
Yeah, that's it.
It was
the point
ours.
to it.
It was brought into the collective, right?
Yeah.
So my role is to bring brand new stuff into the collective over and over and over again, and in some ways get out of the way.
Jeez, ain't that the lesson?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought this far ahead into the future, Craig? So something that I've pondered is, it's obviously won't happen anytime soon, but at some point it could be hundreds or thousands.
Obviously, it wouldn't happen anytime.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years or thousands of years into the future, we won't have need for spaceships, because we will be able to
we'll teleport.
We'll just teleport to another planet
By ourselves. Yeah. We'll teleport everywhere on Earth.
Boom.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we won't really need the tech, because we can just do it ourselves.
Yeah. That's the big.
And a muscle check on that is like, yep.
Yep.
Obviously,
my self-conscious is like, hell no, that's impossible.
Yeah.
But my
that's the
super
big
conscious
freak
is
out
like, yep.
about that's the big freak out about the intuition age, Will,
Oh,
is that things will happen psychically, will communicate telepathically. Okay.
oh, we already are.
We'll learn mastery over energy in the energy fields
Mm,
and all that kind of thing. All of that will open up. But you can't open up to that if you're stuck in your left brain limbic system mind,
mhm.
because it
old
doesn't allow
structures.
for that.
Yeah.
That structure doesn't allow for it.
It's like a muscle, eh? Like developing that skill.
Yeah.
That awareness, just to even be in tune with your own awareness.
And the thing is, human beings may have always had those intuitive abilities, right?
How do you explain all the pyramids around the earth?
Well, yeah,
Right?
yeah. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. I mean, okay, and so the way we understand history is that there's been constant linear progress. Okay, we've gone from primitive to current.
Mm-hmm. Technologically advanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's really wild right now is we're finding out now that these ancients, these original people had a hell of a lot more wisdom than we do now.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole linear idea of history is kind of being thrown out the window as we move forward, right? And in fact, we're seeing that it's kind of cyclical. It's been a wave. Okay, and we're in a place right now where the dark energy has kind of has kind of taken over the earth. And so what's happening is we're getting counterfeits of what the truth is. So a good example of that is the internet. If you consider the internet and the information stored there is a counterfeit of the unified field, and Google has replaced it as a search engine, how you access the information in that field on the internet. But that's just a counterfeit of the unified field and intuition, which is how you access the information in the unified field, right? So intuition in the unified field is the truth. Google and the internet are counterfeits of that. And they're left brain linear counterfeits. All technology is, in fact.
Another distraction.
Yep.
Called engineering.
Yep. And it's true for the 3D, but we're not primarily 3D beings. You know,
that's just one aspect of us.
We're eternal souls that are having this 3D experience, right?
Memory one.
Yeah, but we've come to believe that it's real, that this 3D experience is real and not a hologram. Or that the 3D is all there is. Like you show up, you have one life, and you show up, you have one life, and you're gone, and that's all there is to it. Well, we're finding out that that's not true either. So it's kind of bizarre. So anything you can see in technology it's going to go away. Be replaced by a true form eventually. It ain't going to happen overnight, of course.
Yeah. Might take decades or hundreds of years.
Well, it might, but the thing is, once people start tapping into those innate abilities and start using them and practicing them and exercising them, it'll happen pretty quickly.
Yep.
Fibonacci.
Yeah, exactly. We're just at the beginning of the Fibonacci sequence as far as that kind of stuff is concerned. As far as the intuition age is concerned, it's in its infancy right now. But I'm just getting the feeling that I'm gonna be around to see some major changes that way.
We're entering
That's
the
why
intuition age.
Well, yeah, because I've already experienced a lot of that. Like just the realization that I created Zoom, that I created Zoom 30 years ago is just the tip of that iceberg.
Just didn't have the technology for it back then.
Right.
And that's so cool. That's like Tesla creating things in his mind, testing it all.
Exactly.
He basically created it in his head before or in the field before he ever actually made it in 3D reality.
Right, exactly. He was another one of those. So was Leonardo da Vinci. So was
Walter
Einstein.
Russell.
One of those. Walter Russell's another one. Exactly. And the thing is, as there's awareness of people that have these gifts, we're gonna realize that there's more and more and more of them on the planet right now.
Everyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everyone. Yeah, I remember my dad years ago, like decades ago, when I was a kid, designing things. He's a very inventive mind, and so he designed like collapsible sawhorses because he was a builder, and so he liked to make things and create things, and so he invented that himself. And part of him was wanting to like take it to market, but he just didn't have that. I don't want to say mental fortitude or whatever, but there was certain limitations in his life that kind of prevented him from doing that. But now I got a Canadian Tire and like, oh yeah, there's a collapsible sawhorse there and it's metal and it's very similar design to what he designed, decades ago. Yeah. And he even built them himself, like out of wood, and he designed them and he created them. And now it's just normal. And that's just, that's just a very simplified thing, but there's a lot, we're all doing it. We're all doing it.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It took me 40 years to realize that that's what I was doing.
Well, seriously. And now you're like, now you're awake to it.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh my gosh. Like, whoa.
It's so much fun.
You mean I can live like this all the time? Instead of just having the odd thing that shows up or the situation that shows up, I can create my own situation, create my own stuff wherever I want to go.
You mean creation can be fun, free, exciting, and joyful?
Totally.
You mean I don't have to get caught up in other people's projections and negativity and suffering? And I mean, I can just be in a place of peace within while they're going off. and accusing me of all kinds of horrible things based
That
on
they haven't even done yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Hasn't even happened yet, and we create that it will.
Mm,
So the other side of it too is it's really, really important to have relationships with other people that get this.
yeah. And that's not an easy thing to find.
I'll attest to that
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I've been swimming around like a fish out of water for many, many years.
I think most of us have.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's the miracle I was talking about when I was in that state and I found Chris Duncan and Mag Mind. It's just like, holy crap. It just changed everything, and it was right there at exactly the right time.
Yeah. Wow. That, yeah, incredible.
You know, and the people that I was meant to associate with, you know, as part of that as well. You know, that's why I spend so much time cultivating my relationships with people in this community is because they're people that know. You know, I don't have to explain for 100 years how to why I'm where I'm at, right?
Mhm.
They already know.
Yeah. And it's, I won't say challenging, but it's almost impossible to have these kind of conversations with your everyday person, including spouses.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because all you get is resistance. And well, no, that's a pretty blanket statement. Sorry, I take that back. But you know, people are going to be resistant to having a conversation like this and just opening to the awareness that's available to everyone. It's not easy. Like, there's a lot of foundational work that needs to be done to be able to even just tap into this kind of awareness and
Yeah.
have a conversation like this. Because most people will just judge it and go judge and label you as crazy and walk away from you for good because you're insane.
Yeah.
When it's like, are you just projecting? Or
But having said
Anyways.
that, every day there's more and more people that are ready, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's
Thank you.
important. Yeah, it's become important to me to you know, to get this out there.
Mhm.
You know, that's why your little videos, you know, your little videos on a channel that nobody knows about are very, very important.
Wow. Thanks for the validation.
Yeah. No, I'm serious.
I got to
It's
remember
like,
to do that for myself.
you know, because it's good practice for you. It's good
Yeah.
practice for you to be doing that and to, you know, to keep, you know, to keep opening your heart that way. It's good practice for you that way. And the thing is, because they're recorded and because they're there, you know, the people that are ready, you'll find them.
Yeah. And that's really what it is. It's like an exploration and a journey. I think Jesse typed that in one of the one of his comments. It's a journey. It's like that heart-centered journey of finding who I really am and just sharing from that place. And then hopefully, if you know, basically serving from that place, sharing it, having that conversation. And if other people are starting to find that place within themselves, maybe something will connect with them and we can enjoy the journey together. Like that's all it really is. It's almost like a vlog, where people just kind of They just share things from their hearts, and some people connect with it and some don't, and no big deal.
Yeah. I've been working with Joe the last couple of months and creating a new paradigm for advertising and marketing.
Ooh.
And, you know, we've been exploring this whole thing about client attraction. And we're finding ways that people are attracted to each other energetically.
Ooh.
And using those instead of using mind or brain triggers to get people to sign up with you or to get people to associate with you. We're working on energetic things that attract people to you. Attract the right people to you. Yeah, and what that might look like.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so isn't that kind of amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man. That's like heart-centered marketing, eh?
Well, totally. Yeah, exactly. So taking advantage of the truth that everybody has this magnetic monopole in their heart, and it can be activated energetically, and
based on your vibration.
Yep.
And what you're putting out into your field.
Yep. And it's a lot easier to do this now because the field is a lot more open, and you know, the energetics of the universe and all that kind of stuff. We've seen some really bizarre stuff in the last little while. Like there's major electromagnetic changes in the earth and its polar stuff. In fact, they're speculating if the North and South Pole might reverse.
Yeah, well, the core has reversed its spin, hasn't it, recently?
Yeah, there's stuff like that going on, and there was a huge chunk of the sun a few days ago. I think it was a huge chunk of the sun that broke off.
Coronal mass ejection.
Yeah, and you know, and different things like that.
Well, they didn't name it. They've never seen anything like it before. Can't explain it. And they didn't call it they didn't use that language. It was something else. Yeah. But,
oh, really? Like something new?
Yeah. Never seen it before. Yeah. Experienced it. Yeah.
What?
But the truth of it is
completely different.
It's energetic, right? It's an energy. It's an energy release that affects everybody. It affects all the planets and the earth and the people on it and nature and all that stuff.
Well, I think I'm gonna start getting ready to head off for work, guys. So thank you so much for that amazing conversation. That was just a beautiful way to start the day.
Yeah, keep the faith, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
I will. Have a great day.
Yeah, we'll see you guys.
Thanks for spending it with us.
Okay.
See you next
Love
time.
you, Big Will.
Okay. Love you guys all. Thank you.
Bye, Will.
Bye.
Have a
See
good
you,
day.
Pascal.
Oh man, it is almost 8 o'clock already.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still out walking. Day after the Super Bowl. Stadium is about 5 miles from where I am right now.
Ah.
Yeah, so it was kind of interesting. I stepped out when they had the broadcast, and I was trying to see if I could see the fireworks, but I couldn't see them because it was overcast and windy. But yeah, I'm out walking these days, and it's dark when I start, and the sun's up when
Finish up.
I finish. So that's pretty cool, actually.
So Craig, do you think we should use this new marketing for? I think we should.
Well, yeah. That might be one thing that I get to finish. One of my neighbors is just taken off in his golf cart.
You're gonna go play golf.
Yeah, gonna go play around.
We'll play around. You could,
Yeah,
that's a
this
good way to
community
start
I'm
the
in
morning
is-
too.
Yeah, it's Sun City. It was developed in 1960 by what's his name? I forget his name. It doesn't matter. But anyways, it was meant to be like a 55 plus community right from the very beginning. And all the houses are bungalows, like 1-story ranch style. So it's not like you have stairs to go up or anything like that. And they even put license plates on golf carts here. A lot of people go and play golf. But what's really, really weird to me is supposed to be an active living community, and there's no places to walk. Like there's sidewalks and that kind of stuff, but it's really hard to find parkland that isn't a golf course.
Mhm.
So it's a little 1960s minded when they built this place. Oh, the guy's name is Del Webb. He was kind of a visionary real estate developer back in those days. So anyways, there's hardly any grass in the yards here. There's, you have different colored stones and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of cactus and palm trees, and that kind of stuff. People have orange trees in their yard. Did you get that rain that came through Southern California yesterday?
A little bit, yeah. It
A
didn't
little
rain
bit,
much.
yeah.
It didn't rain much. A little
Yeah.
sprinkle here is all we had.
Yeah, it usually comes here day after. It's supposed to rain later on this morning.
So how do we get
So-
started, Craig?
How do we get started? What?
On the marketing?
Still working on that.
Mhm.
I'm
Well,
I'm
how
working
about
with-
you? Here, how about here? Like how about? Why don't you help guide me through how to do this?
Okay.
And so it's something that every CEO wants, needs, has to bring into their organization. Fundamentally, everyone does. Specifically, I only have an offer for a select few.
Okay.
But the specific offer, the template, the structure of it will be opportunity, open spaces for other geniuses to find their opportunity, to create their space. So there's value, yeah, there's value in different things through that, different ways to go about it. One would be, and then there's the public.
Yes.
The public's also a potential, the conversation, if we're marketing to share a story, there's the public, and with the public is, here's the transparency, here's the truth, here's the numbers, here's what it is, this is how it works, so that there's buy-in, there's support, yeah. And then for that support, that those two, the businesses and the people, build each other, build their creations. So I'm wondering, like, one is like to take, here's my, as soon as one says yes, they're all going to say yes. That's the
Yes.
point.
Yeah. It'll be the
And so
domino effect, period.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm just worried, like how, I'm having a hard time with the people that need to hear this, hearing it.
Yeah. Can you reframe that statement?
Mm-hmm. How do, like, there's making them aware this is a possibility.
Right.
Making them aware they can do it. Making them aware of how they can keep their commitments that they've made to the board. Promises that these companies have made to the public, to their Wall Street, to their money.
Right.
All around cutting carbon, reducing, offsetting, eliminating the carbon emissions.
Right.
Every company has that objective for the most part anymore, and if you don't, you will.
Yeah.
And the public is going to hold the oil companies accountable.
Right. And and the companies are resisting it for as
Not
long
so
as they
much
possibly
anymore.
can.
They're not so
Well,
much
yeah, but
anymore.
there's
They're
still resistance
adopting
there.
it, that they don't. They're not actively pursuing it, without a doubt, because
Correct.
people don't know
Yeah.
how to even think about it. That's the offer. People don't know how to think about it. And of course, the oil industry says, oh, we're not doing that. We're just providing you a product that the consumer has wanted. And it's true too, but it's like, we do know that we cause more harm than good too over the last 100 years.
Right.
And so I've got a real solution that rapidly moves from where we are right now to where we want to be. And there's other people that have it too. There's a uniqueness for our industry. There's a little niche that applies everywhere, and I want to take advantage of that. Not advantage, I want to exploit it. Yeah.
Well, yeah. There's definitely a reason why you have it.
Yeah. And I mean, the old way to do it, and I still do it right now, like my action is to call through the organization to talk to them.
Yeah.
So that is my marketing right now. I know the players. I know, well, I don't have a line to the top is what I say.
Yeah.
I don't have a direct, I've got one direct line to a top. And I haven't pushed hard enough for him yet to hear it, but I will. I need to get my numbers. But I've got them now. So I'm wondering, how do I go to market? Do I inform the public, or do I give the opportunity, or do I give the companies opportunity to jump on board?
Here's what's coming to me right now, and that's a clean proposition. And what I mean by that is a proposition that focuses on potential rather than the crutches of the old structure. So what that means is presenting proof or argument or numbers is kind of futile, because it's not about that. It's about beneficial compliance. It's about setting a new trend. It's about leadership. It's about pioneering. Which goes back to the roots of the industry. Wildcatting. You know that term, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wildcatter.
Yep.
Okay. In the days when you drilled to find a gusher. Mm-hmm. So it's that attitude with respect to that same attitude. That's foundational in the industry. So it's going back. It's a rediscovery of that attitude. A rediscovery of that motivation, but this time it's around environmental concerns.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Wildcatting compliance.
Yeah.
Wildcatting, wildcatter.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, it speaks right to the industry.
Yeah.
Leader in it, you bet. Who's pioneers?
Yeah. So you're like Rockefeller or J. Paul Getty or.
I never heard that term, wildcatting. Can you explain?
Wildcatting is like in the early days of the industry. It's kind of like a gold rush around oil. So when oil is discovered, then all of a sudden it was like you mortgaged your house, you spent everything you had, you got whoever you could to invest in it, and you went and you drilled in that particular place. Like it was like, because you could be wealthy overnight. It's like you sold everything you had and you were all in order to, in order to pursue that new thing.
Ah, okay.
It was shortly after the car was invented, and so all of a sudden there was this pent up demand for petroleum products, oil and gasoline and all that kind of stuff. So what the windfall there was, there's a good word to use too. The windfall there was the money, basically.
Well, for wildcatters, it's the passion of it. It's the gamble.
Well, yeah. But the windfall is the payback, right?
Yeah, not many got it.
The excitement was in the gamble.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like gold rushes were that way too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the excitement's in the gamble, and the windfall is in striking it rich. And the thing is, so what you're presenting is an opportunity to be a wildcatter in the new windfall. To be a active participant, full engagement in the new windfall, being a pioneer that way.
Wildcatter of dirty emissions. Not quite.
Well, you gotta assume that for every oil man, there would be a wildcatter inside. There'd be something in that industry that drew them into it.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
It's that wildcat spirit. It's the exploration. It's the gambler. It's the,
oh man, that is so good.
It's the, I want to be the first. I want to be the one. I want to be the one that has the gusher.
Wildcat compliance. Wildcat compliance.
So the thing is, what you're speaking to is that spirit, spirit that's prevalent in the industry. And here's a new opportunity to re-experience that. So where's the charge?
In the passion.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
In the wildcat. It's in the wildcat. It
in the
draws
wildcat.
that out.
Mm-hmm. You bet. That's where it is. Brilliant. That's where the charge is.
That's brilliant.
Yep. So that's what you use. See how this is energetic?
Mm-hmm.
You just spent the last 3.5 years learning about how people get charged.
Mm-hmm.
And here you are now, you can use it to your advantage.
Mhm. I get to practice on that today.
Yep.
I have
Yep.
I have so many different different opportunities to explore the wildcatter today.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's not about the money, it's about the spirit.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna make grown men cry. You know that?
I was gonna say I already do.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you.
Mhm.
Is it's like if you can help people tap into that part of themselves that wants to do that, it's ballistic.
Mhm.
Seriously.
Mm.
Every oil man wants to feel that.
Mhm. It's true. It all starts with a question too. That's what I love about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone it's an obvious question that I don't think any of them ask.
Yeah.
How do we make an extra 1,000 barrels?
Yep.
And is it a wildcatter? How do I find 1,000-barrel well?
Yep.
Wildcatter.
So for this product that you have, what's the real benefit that comes out of that?
For who? Because I have the customer and I have the public. So I have big oil and I have the public, the consumer. And so for the big companies are able to say to the public, look at all of this that I'm able to cut. Look how fast I'm able to get here. We didn't think it was possible. We are the dirty admitters. And look at we are able to reduce these numbers that we wouldn't think were possible for another 10 years. This is how we did it to the rest of the world so that they can say, oh, because it's just a shift in perspective. Oh, this is how I can apply it into my industries, into my purposes, into my spirits, experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they say to the public, it's like, look at us reduce our emissions, look at us make the progress, look at us invest all of this, because I promised them that I would reduce their emissions a certain amount, but also in that is, do they make a whole lot more oil? And as they make more oil, they're able to turn off their real emissions without the damaging, without the reduction that they thought they would have to face.
Mm-hmm.
There is really no limit to how much of my product, my service, they would buy to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
But it also sounds crazy because no one in our industry has connected it yet.
Mhm.
And I can also go to the regulatory and say, look, regulators, I can help you hit your numbers.
Mm.
So I also have that as a like those. So there's three legs, right? The business, the regulators, and the public.
Mm.
And as soon as this is out, right, all the businesses will be rushing to get into it. So carving it into our advantage is the first mover advantage here, is the wildcatter, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And it's never been done before. So I can't promise, right, that they'll be able to reduce their greenhouse, but in theory it works. I can't say if they're going to get the credits that I think the government's capable of giving to them. But if I project it out, I would say the government will probably, they will at least offset 75% of the cost.
Yeah.
But they don't need it because they're going to make enough oil to pay for it. So what happens is they'll be able to really keep oil the same and reduce the need to burn fossil fuels to generate it.
Right.
And they can go to Wall Street and say, look, we hit our net zero or we hit our emission goals 5 years quicker than 2030.
So is that the hard deadline that exists now? 2030?
No, it's not a hard deadline. Everyone's made the same promise, right? That they're going to, and it's all in alignment with everything, but 2030 is the magic number that everyone says we have to be here by then. Otherwise, and people are saying we're not going to be there by then under current reality.
Yeah.
And the other, like, fraud is coming in and greed and all of that is coming in and all of that will ruin a really good program.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
And there's nothing like this sets a whole different standard that everyone can play in. And everyone can start putting the real admission costs into their economics. And when you do that, when that becomes through all the organizations, people are going to find ways to improve the admissions.
Yeah.
Not just focusing on the economics, and Wall Street wants to hear that. The agencies, the regulatory groups, they want to hear
that for sure. So does this product, does it somehow make your well more productive?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It does that
It
too.
sure does. It does that, yes. That is what that's what's kept me in business all this time.
Wow.
Yeah, 30% more.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
That ends up on your bottom line.
Big time. And company, but that wasn't good enough that's not good enough for companies to say yes. Not everyone were knocking down my doors to do that.
Why the hell not?
I don't know, right? Because I'm working with field people that, right, have budgets that do what they did last year because that was safe. And so they do what they did the year before that, and they do the same thing year before that. And the whole mentality has been drill, baby, drill.
So you got that structure.
Mm-hmm. Drill, baby, drill.
Oh boy. And it's based on lack.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow. There's your wound. There's the wound to the wildcatter.
What's that?
Well, you're keeping 30% of the gusher away.
Yeah.
You're denying 30% of your.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right to the bottom line, right to the bottom line.
Wow.
And what I'm saying is like, oh, that's one way to do it. Yes, you can do that, but now I can tie greenhouse gas emissions to it as a reduction. So now you can get credit for that. You can qualify for that. And not only do you make more money that way, but you can also tell the public that you're doing your part
Right.
and reducing your emissions. I think we can get to 20 to 30% in a year.
Wow.
The companies are targeting 10% by 2030.
And you're talking 20 to 30 right now.
In a year. Yeah, in a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every year.
Wow.
Every year.
Wow. And you're leaving behind a clean hole.
Cleaner. So what if we can get more oil out of the existing wells, we don't have to drill another one.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So we're offsetting that drilling. We're offsetting a new liability. We're offsetting that with more from the old.
Yeah.
And if I can get, let's say, just at the end of the day, if I can recover 30% more oil without having to without those emissions, without that greenhouse gas, without dirtying the air, that is an offset. That is a reduction, and that is a tax incentive.
Right.
You know, the engineering firm, I think it's McKinley. I mean, they're
Yeah.
a big one. They're
Yeah.
McKinsey, that's the one, right? McKinsey. I think they said if they looked at the oil industry and they said if the oil industry could if they could increase production 10%, it would be an overall 4% reduction in emissions for them.
Oh, wow.
And I say in heavy oil, in my business, in my market, in my world, my understanding and my genius, it's about 9%. Because we are that dirty every day.
Wow.
I didn't realize that either. See, that story is not there.
Mm.
Nor is anyone in the organization going, how could I make 1,000 barrels more? And what I'm saying to this county is that I can make 30,000 more. That's 2 million tons reduced every year.
Yeah. Wow.
And right now, the value of those are about $51 a ton. And they think it'll go up to 190 is what they're proposing.
$190 a ton.
A ton, yeah, a fee of $190 a ton.
Oh, wow.
A tax.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
A tax.
Okay. Let's look at this let's look at this the same way as we would a human being. Okay, so you want to lower your emissions. You want higher yield from your existing wells. and you want a cleaner operating well. Okay.
Healthier
So
well is
step
really
into
what you
the
want. You want a healthier well.
Okay.
Yep. Healthier
that's a
feel,
better
the
way of saying it.
healthier. Yep.
Okay. Can you step into the feeling of that? What would that be like? What would that feel like? To have those three things. Tell me when you got it.
Okay.
Why can't you have it? Did anything come up for you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Good.
Don't know what it means. Don't know what it means. And yeah. I'm sure it had to do with the gusher.
Mm,
Pressure. I was thinking of it as a volcano, right? Coming up through, just held in by the crust.
Yep.
But then it was like, no, it's more of a gusher. It's a volcano. It's about ready to. And I was like, why can't it burst? And it's just like in process. It's in time.
mm,
Just needs a pinprick, right? It just needs to break through. It just needs to
Yep.
penetrate.
one little crack.
Just one yes, and it's off to the races. That's part of it's part of me working with my partner this morning will be around that.
Yeah.
Just to release that, because it's nothing that we've ever experienced before. Meaning we think it's got to go a certain way, and that's the limit. That's what's limiting the creation.
Right. Exactly. So what I was attempting to do there was to help you identify where the resistance is.
Mhm.
Okay, where's the resistance in a CEO? Because for some reason, they're avoiding an obvious solution. In fact, they're even avoiding looking at it, considering it. So there's a resistance there somewhere.
Yeah.
And the reason I did it with you is because some of that resistance might be yours.
Mhm.
And it might even be both.
That was great. Thank you. What did you learn, Craig? What did you, what was it like for you to practice your offer?
Wow. I'm still blown away. I'm still blown away. Oh, excuse me. I'm still blown away with that. The whole spirit of the wildcatter thing.
Yeah, that was that is so good. That's such an insight to that, of like orienting our, what spirit are we talking to? Are we calling out? Are we focusing into?
Yeah.
And like you said, it's like it's that version of it that got everyone involved into it, that got them to that position. And it's just,
Right.
Yeah, to tap into it, draw out, find it. So
Yeah. How many times has that wildcatter been told no?
oh God. Yeah.
You know, by regulators, by the people that hold the purse strings, by et cetera, right?
Yeah.
How many
that's for
times
sure.
has that spirit been stifled, right?
Mhm.
And so
That's the draw.
here's an opportunity for it to come back to the forefront.
Man.
I mean, who in the hell wouldn't want that? Because that's where the energy is. That's where the pressure's been built up for years.
Yep.
100 years is a lot of pressure.
100 years is a lot of pressure. Yes, sir. All right, man. Thank
Hope
you.
that was helpful.
It was great exercise. Yeah. You're on to something with that.
Yep.
I like it.
Procreative intuition.
That's there you go, my man. That's exactly what it is. All right. Well, I'm complete.
Are you on later this morning?
Yeah, I am.
What time does it remind me? Is it 11 Pacific?
10 o'clock Pacific. 10 Pacific.
10 Pacific. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be
got
back.
At 9:30, 10, and 11. So, yep, that's what I got this morning. So, all right, guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Hey, I'm glad that was recorded. That was pretty good.
I know. Yeah, for sure. Man, you never know where we'll use them, right?
Well, that's business intuition, man.
Mm-hmm. Demonstrations of it.
Yep.
All right, guys. Have a great day. Thanks for your
Awesome.
help.
Yeah, thank you,
You're very,
guys.
very welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all. Big love.
Bye, Pascal.
Bye.
Unless there was something you wanted to say, Pascal. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step over that.
The only thing I would say is when you're anticipating something that you really want, it's kind of like bringing that feeling to them, so that they want something so bad, like say like you're dreaming about this girlfriend or whatever, and then like she keeps you hanging, and it's just like it's agony inside, but like it's almost like it's the anticipation. It's like really like I don't know how to say that, like it's just a really deep feeling, so it's kind of almost like it's kind of give them a taste, but like not giving the whole bite, kind of. so that they wanted more and more and more. So I think like the first thing is like really listen what they want and kind of giving them like a bite to it, but don't give them the whole thing. And yeah, because you know, when you get that, then it's like, oh, okay, what's next now? That, you know, the anticipation is gone and all that. So it's like really keep that alive, kind of. Does it resonate for any of you?
Mhm. It does. Thank you. It had me think about, and that's break them down into smaller chunks, specifics, uniqueness. It's like, oh, here's how to do 100-ton reduction, right? Something like that. And so that it's,
Yeah.
or even just one, here's how we reduce one. And when we do with one, this is how we do many.
And why
That's
don't
maybe a great way.
why don't you, you know, if you can't afford it, would you like to test my product? You know, that's, so that doesn't give them, you know, any obligation,
That's right.
right? Test it.
Yeah. Got all sorts of ways to get them to say yes.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of ways. It's he's setting it there, and I love it. I love it. So thank you.
But it's really like, I think the deep listening, that's what we find in this group. That's how you can help your client. That's how you can help each other, right? So that's how it starts. But then after that, it's like, okay, I know what you want now. Then, okay, I've got a product that might help you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And test it, right? So, and if if they see that it reduced their emission, reduce everything, then they'll be like, oh God, you know. And then now you have like a test subject, then be like, wow, like this company tries it and they test it. So do you want to jump in or not? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it gets bigger, and that's Fibonacci like sequences, right? Like, you know, like it takes
and I've already got a customer that is saying yes, that we're just haven't tied the offer to it yet, but that'll be part of it. So it's already like, it doesn't change anything that I already do. We just now start to announce it and start to claim it, start to promise it.
Mm-hmm. Let's just say like you're sitting on the oil mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I wanted to add. So.
Nice. Thanks, Pascal. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. I might be there like later on. 11, okay. You said? 11?
Yeah, 11 Pacific.
11 Pacific, so 12 for us. Okay.
12.
All right. Okay,
great,
sounds
guys.
good. All right.
Have a great day.
Have a good one. Yeah, you too.
Bye.